Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anthony with Simplified Profits. And if you ain't subscribed yet or turned on your notifications, you probably should. Take a look at our past videos, see what you missed. But we've been making some good calls. We got nothing fancy going on. We like to keep it simple. Let's take a look at what happened last week, what we're expecting this week coming up. And we will start with last week's biggest gainer, ETF, which is in the semiconductor sector. SMH, and if you were following us, you would have got the 13% trade that we locked in 7 days on SOXL. We entered down here. I want to say we entered on Thursday. What day was that? Yeah, that was Thursday, and we got out right around 28.81. I want to say. You can take a look at our transparent account videos and see the exact transactions. But anyway, it finished up 4% for the week. It is getting close to the overbought territory. And as I said in my previous video, I feel like this is going to fade based on a couple of the bigger semiconductor stocks. NVIDIA, I don't think that breakout's going to run far, but we did call the breakout. If you take a look at our Mega 7 video, Magnificent 7 video, which I want to say all those happened exactly as we anticipated, especially Tesla's breakdown if you missed it. But that's, to me, is going to probably pull back. The market's getting kind of toppy and kind of rough. AMD, kind of amazed at the PE on this, which I know there's supposed to be a bunch of money pumped into it. Microsoft PE still around 1,000, probably a little under right now, but that is crazy. So, personal opinion, that's going to become, we're going to start setting lower highs, and probably keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this was up 70% last year. Do you expect another 70% this year? Do you expect some sideways movement? Do you think it might pull back this year? We got a crazy year coming up as far as our elections go. We got Taiwan's elections, which China's getting involved in, and China may overtake Taiwan with a Chinese president, just kind of like they did us. So keep that in mind. It's going to be a crazy year, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to capitalize on the swings all we can. I don't care if the market trades sideways or sideways and slightly down. We're going to find opportunities, and we're going to capitalize on the swings. So SMH, it might retest these highs next week. We may get a good week run, but if you take a look at the weekly chart, I was surprised when it broke out there. I said when it broke out there, we could see 180 quickly. It didn't really touch 180. I just kind of threw 180 out there because a lot of times flat numbers, even numbers kind of stick sometimes for new support or resistance, depending on which way you're going. But yeah, I mean, the weekly chart is overbought, daily chart's getting there, and the monthly chart has really been overbought. So yeah, just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I'd be very, very cautious. I'm not a buyer till we get another pullback, and even then, if it starts setting lower highs and lower lows, I will probably be trading something else in the market, either a different ETF or single stocks. And you can see all that on our transparent account. Now, Triple Qs did about the same thing. It actually, crazy thing was, that's the thing about leverage ETFs. The slower the move, the more decay you'll have on them. So it finished up 3% for the week, but if you look at the leverage version, finished up a higher percentage, almost a percentage point higher than SOXL, which is the semiconductor percentage. We trade leverage ETFs, but if we see the trade starting to fade out, and let me tell you, on a normal year, our plan on SOXL was 20 to 30%. We went ahead and locked in 13%. I'm never ashamed to take profits, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do here, is try to compound profits. But normal year, we probably would have got that. This is a year coming up where last year did 70%, and election years, there's going to be a lot going on. But Triple Q's finished up 3%. It's getting to the overbought territory and starting to fade already. This may be a lower high as well. Now, SPY, we drew this line based on, I want to say, the weekly chart on one of our previous videos. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be very healthy for the market, the overall market, to pull back. I mean, even though it's looking bullish, and it could break out, no doubt about it. It is overbought, and it bounced quickly from the oversold to the overbought condition. So it's a good sign, but expect a crazy year this year, ladies and gentlemen. Um, like I said, I'd be happy if it just swung trade sideways all year and capitalize on those swings, but it could break out. It would be surprising with everything going on. I believe SPY was up 20% last year. So if it did another 20% this year, that'd be a heck of a run. I would expect might finish 10% or down for the year. Keep that in mind. Always keep in mind what the market did last year. It's something good to have in the back of your head. That way you know, kind of, you set your expectations properly. And let's see, XBY was our next runner-up, ladies and gentlemen. If you paid attention to some of our previous videos, man, kicking myself in the butt. We called a ton of support here on the monthly chart, which was the only thing we would have traded at the time because everything else was under the 200-day. We only trade over the 200-day. But if you would have jumped in that, let's see, LABU's chart looks so much different. You know, you would have been up 130% in 2.5 months. One heck of a swing trade, kicking myself in the butt. We called it, but we didn't participate in it. And oh well, it happens. So that swung up quick, ladies and gentlemen. And now if you look at where we're at, there's a ton of resistance at this level. I wouldn't expect any more straight up moves. I would expect some sideways movement, some consolidation before it either breaks up or down. And it's overbought now, so I would expect a pullback next week. And then we're looking at Dow Jones, which was only up 10% last year. It's really I think it's going to be our lightest mover to the downside this year, just based on it was our lowest mover up as far as only being up 10%. But it is, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, it's at all new highs. Just be cautious. Like I said, it's at all-time highs, and we got a lot of stuff going on in our country. Got a lot of stuff going on around the world. Now here, as long as companies are making money, that really don't matter. Even when the economy's bad, companies cut employees, companies raise their prices, companies, you know, they know how to manage that balance sheet, and that's what drives the stock market. So keep that in mind. But we could see sideways action all year, maybe a little down. USO's down 1.46%. Now here, we've seen just this weekend and on Friday, the US and UK, I mean, they're doing some attacks in Yemen. So things are heating up around the world, ladies and gentlemen. That did put a little bit of, reasoning in why we picked up these two positions and got out of the positions we were in. Kind of more defensive and the turmoil going on around the world. And XLU, which we called that pullback when it was overbought, it's getting to the oversold position. But this may actually, stuff like this should catch your eyes, and once you're used to looking at charts, you'll just pick stuff up a lot more. But yeah, I mean, that could start trending up over the 200-day. It's been kind of beaten down over the years with the rising rates over the last couple of years. So we could see some sideways movement up over the 200-day. It's nothing I trade or get involved in a lot. As you can see, it rarely holds the 200-day. Just kind of goes up and down in the midst of it. XOP is oversold, and we expect a bounce on that. We called the overbought condition, said it would pull back. It pulled back, and it will swing up to the oversold or overbought condition. Now since it's oversold, and that's just how we swing trade, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see here, it don't always go right up or right down. Some of these swings take weeks, some of them take months, and you have to manage them. And no matter what, we always look at the 10-year outlook. Is this something we have a bright 10-year outlook on? As far as oil exploration or oil overall, no. I don't trade commodities much at all. And the only energy sector I'm really enticed by is nuclear energy. That's not it. Typing the same thing. Right there we go. Nuclear energy, my bullish energy sector for the next few years. BWXT is my favorite position. We've been buying that since January of last year. We actually did a little swing trade in it in our transparent account, so check it out. And my most bullish stock is right here, GTBIF, cannabis. We called a buy. Check our transparent account on 12/15. We were up as high as 20%. We did lock in profit in our transparent account just to give us more cash flow for some other positions we were moving into. We do hold a little bit of that in our long-term account, and we will probably add it every pullback. Now it broke 12.50. I wish I owned more of it, but I didn't start picking it up till 12.15, just based on how we trade and invest. But we'll continue to add it to our long-term portfolio on every pullback to the oversold condition. Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to break out and rip out. So I probably won't add any more to that position until it pulls back. But I'm a very patient individual. And I feel like this is a 10-year position, right? I'm not trying to get rich on this overnight. I'm trying to build a position over this year and maybe the next year on pullbacks and let it ride for 10 years, just like we will do with BWXT. So unless something changes, it drops under the 200-day moving average. Chart stops looking bullish, which really for me, it will have to drop under the 200-day moving average. I'm in it. Now, not in the transparent account because it's a smaller account, and we're doing that more for educational purposes based on what we teach and go by in the book Simplified Profits. And we needed to free up some cash flow to enter these two kind of defensive positions for what's going on. These are our next two trades in that account. Check out that video and we can kind of see what our plans are. We still have about, I want to say about $2,000 to manage these positions if they end up going down and our positions end up getting lower. Other than that, we'll be shopping to put that money to work into something else. We got 134 stocks and the high cap 1000 that is actually bullish and oversold, and their PE is greater than 0, meaning they're actually profitable. And we can, if you want to take a screenshot, I'll kind of slowly scroll down. You can kind of see the tickers. You can do your own digging. Our favorite are obviously what's in our transparent account, but take a look, see what you like. You may want a little Lululemon. Hear a lot of controversy going on right now in that stock between the founder and the company, which is weird. But just take a look, take a screenshot, do some digging. If it's not a bullish chart, ladies and gentlemen, and the company's not making money, I don't really want nothing to do with it. That's just how I operate. Also prefer a little dividend action. This is a pretty good rip, pays 5% dividend. Just busted over the 200-day. We'll see if it swings a couple times over the 200-day. That might get added to my income account. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, I have 4 other accounts besides this transparent account. We just kind of opened this to see how we can grow it, how quickly we can grow it with my principles. I've been doing this for 23 years. I like to add anywhere from 10 to 20% of my income through the account and then put that money to work based on the principles in the book, Simplified Profits, and what we teach on the channel. My other accounts are everything from custodial accounts to income long-term investment account, larger trading account, which everything's kind of in positions that are kind of just working by themselves. Um, Trying to focus more on the education aspect and my transparent account, and just overall trading, so to speak, in that account. Um, that's where my focus is going to be this year. I'm going to try to educate, and my son will be watching the account. He turns 18 in a few weeks. He'll be opening up his own brokerage, and learning how to grow it. So if you ain't subscribed, turn on your notifications yet, please do. Leave some feedback. Tell me, if you want me to start doing scans on some stuff I wouldn't buy, which are like penny stocks, got no problem doing it. Putting it out there for you guys. Just leave me feedback. Let me know what you think. I'm out.